Please welcome into the ring, from Walsall, Martin Gethin!
Crowd packed in here and giving Martin Gethin a huge reception. Another real crowd-pleasing fighter. Martin Gethin has come close to British title honours in the past. Now is this going to be his opportunity? Underrated maybe, never on the floor as a pro. Good amateur fighter, comes from a real fighting family. Two brothers as well were professionals. Now Martin Gethin at 28 years old, he'll hope to be inspired by this terrific support, going for this British lightweight crown. Could be the fight of the night. I frankly can't see any way this fails to be a terrific encounter. On paper it's got everything, let's hope it delivers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Warren in association with EJKO Promotions, sponsored by Rain & Steel, proudly presents 12 3-minute rounds for the vacant British Lightweight Championship, exclusively live on Box Nation from the Walsall Town Hall here in the West Midlands. Your officials are appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control. Your 3 scoring judges at ringside are Mr. Ian John Lewis of Gillingham, Mr. John Keane of Wellingborough, and Mr. Terry O'Connor of Birmingham. Your supervisor this evening is Martin Flory. Your timekeeper the bell is Tony Dunkley of Shrewsbury. And when the action begins, your referee in charge is Marcus McDonnell of Twickenham. And now to introduce the contestants. Firstly, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in 9 stone, 8 pounds, 6 ounces, wearing the tiger shorts. His record reads 9 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, with 5 KOs to his name. Please welcome from Hove, Ben Murphy! And across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the blue shorts, weighing in 9 stone, 8 pounds, 6 ounces. His record reads 23 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, with 10 KOs to his name. Please welcome the former English champion from Walsall, Martin Gethin! Your referee, Marcus McDonnell, will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
Right, guys, you're both in the dressing room. What I expect out of professors at all times, watch your heads, keep it clean. Any questions? Let's go to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, 12 3-minute rounds for the vacant British Lightweight Championship.
Martin Gethin's career looked in doubt not so long back. He was out for 18 months with a really bad back injury, but he's come back, 4 wins since, and last time out, an eye-catching victory against Carl Johansson on the Deborah show back in September. 11th round knockout, and he finished that fight wonderfully well. But Ben Murphy, he'll be right in his face from word go, and he just keeps on coming.
Yeah, and he is as well, isn't he? Right on Gethin. And the important thing for Gethin is to keep his shape, because he's going to be under a lot of pressure tonight. Murphy is extremely fit, strong and determined, so Gethin needs to keep his shape at all times. Good left uppercut there by Gethin, just catching Murphy coming in.
Ben Murphy admits to being a little eccentric. One of his gym mates told us about how he whacks himself with sticks of bamboo to get used to taking shots. Ever tried anything like that?
No, not at all.
Like a whack with a piece of bamboo, no? Reads philosophy as well. Interesting character, put it mildly. Actually started as a pro with Richie Woodall in this part of the world. Gethin can be sometimes a bit of a slow starter. He's clearly got the reach advantages. That win in his last fight got him into top 15 rating with the IBF. And Murphy started as the aggressor.
It's pretty much going to be expected, isn't it, at the moment? Murphy making the play. Gethin keeping a high, tight defence, trying to counter when he can.
Marcus McDonald just trying to keep the action clean. One thing you'd say about Murphy, though, for all that sort of bull-like strength and physical fitness, and he has got some physique for a small man, he's not a single-punch knockout artist.
No, I think a lot of it is to do, he doesn't relax with his punches, so he tenses up every time he throws a shot, and even though they're heavy shots, and I'm sure they hurt, it takes the snap out of him slightly, which means that he's not a concussive puncher. But he's physically strong, and he'll tire you out and wear you down.
Works down on the south coast now, Murphy, based in Hove, trained by Paul Newman, whereas Gethin, he's the local lad from the Errol Johnson stable, also got Dean Powell in his corner tonight. He's come close to British title honours in the past, had good wins 4 years ago. He had back-to-back wins against Nadeem Siddiq, John Thukes, but then he had a bad loss, suffered awful cuts in a fight against Scott Lawton. He was a decent fighter.
Yeah, he's come close before, and it's a deserved title shot now for Martin Gethin.
Murphy's sailing close to the win. That's the second time he's had a ticking off from the referee in this opening round.
Good left hook there from Murphy.
So, interesting opening round. Pretty much as we expected, the die has been cast. Let's see how Martin Gethin's corner have rated his performance. Errol Johnson's the man with him.
Keep commanding the centre of the ring, pushing him back with that jab, got me? And then bring that right up a couple, step right. Every time he comes straight line, step right, bang that right hand over and put faster timing, got me? Right?
The only time he's caught you is when you've backed off him and he's caught you with that silly swing, okay?
Yeah, keep your hands up as you go back, got me? But don't, just hold your ground, bam the jab off, got me? And double it up on it. And then that, boom, right through the middle, got me? Deep breaths, good. You're busting him up every time you sit your ground, got me? Sit your ground and busting up with a jab all the time. But react fast, got me? Let's go, come on.
You know when you step in and you throw that left uppercut and you lift his head up, bang the right hand straight away. Come on!
Yeah, it was a bit of a slow start from Gethin. Do you think Murphy took that opener, Barry?
Yeah, I gave it to Murphy, but I don't think they'd be too unhappy in Gethin's corner. I think, I think he kept his shape quite well, countered with a few good, decent shots. So, you expect him to give ground for the first couple of rounds, because Murphy's just 100 miles an hour, isn't he? Until you can establish yourself.
Yeah, he's a real little pit bull of a fighter, isn't he, Murphy? Compact, broad shoulders, keeps coming, likes throwing the body shots. One there which strayed low. Referee Marcus McDonald now taking him off for use of the head. He's the shorter man by some 2 inches or more. Ben Murphy only stands around about 5'4", maybe slightly less. And he's trying to rough Gethin up. No shock.
Yeah. Good bit of work there from Gethin, just throwing a nice little right hand, leaning back.
Good body shots, though, from Murphy. This time, in that exchange, when the referee stepped in, Murphy was very careful not to drag his man down, having already been told about it.
And instead throws a nice right hook to the body.
He's not doing too badly, though, my way of looking at it, Murphy. Giving himself some good angles and throwing some really good, meaty body shots. Some of his gum shields come out. Murphy's. Don't think it was a punch that did it.
He's landed with some good body shots, hasn't he, which might pay dividends later on in the fight.
Well, if you're a betting man, you wouldn't be too sure either way at this stage. Murphy, though, made slightly the faster start in the first round. Gethin just getting into his stride a little bit more in this second.
Yeah, but the most important thing is, as I said earlier, is that Gethin keeps his shape, keeps his hands up nice and high. And just quicken up that jab a little bit, I think, for Martin Gethin.
Gethin trying to return fire with fire here. He's been targeted around the body by Murphy, and he's returned the compliment a little bit in this round, even to one going below the belt.
Yeah. And even though Gethin places his shots very, very well, I just think he needs to speed them up just a little bit. It's just a little bit too slow. I think he might be open for a counter, possibly.
Well, it's how the judges score it, of course, but you just get the feeling in the opening exchanges, and he gets told off. What's that? 4 times in 2 rounds. Use of the head this time.
Well, I think being the shorter guy as well, he's got to come bowling forward. He's always going to get caution for using the head, isn't he? When the way he goes forward and dips his knees in front of the opponent and comes up.
Yeah, what I was going to say before that referee's intervention came was that it had looked until this final exchange that it had been just Murphy sort of making the fight, but Gethin getting some telling blows in the closing seconds of the second round. There's
Yep.
Ben Murphy, a little smear of blood from his nostril. He's got his trainer Paul Newman with him, and here's some of the action really starting to hot up.
Yeah, it is, and even though I think I gave that round to Murphy, just at the very end there, didn't he? Just caught Murphy coming in with a nice little right hand.
Water. Nick, water.
Doesn't look a lot like the other Paul Newman, does he?
Now listen to me. Step
Not at
over,
all.
don't get too involved. Get your head moving, all right? You see it. I want to see movement. I want to see the angle shots.
The referee went into the corner just as they went down and told him again, Marcus McDonald, watch your head.
Relax, take it.
Just to tell him off again. Might be that Marcus McDonald's going to start thinking about taking a point away from Ben Murphy, and that could hurt him. He's had a good start, though, to this fight.
Yeah, he has had a good start. This is what we expected. 100 miles an hour, throwing lots of shots, always looking to work, to be fair to him, never looking to hold. But Gethin's got through with the good shots. He placed the shots well, showing that he can spear the defence of Murphy, so he needs to just quicken it up now and just start letting his hands go just a little bit more. That in Gethin.
I told you earlier about him hitting himself with bamboo shots and bamboo shoots, rather, and canes and goodness knows what, and reading philosophy. He also says that he can run 16 miles a day. He's a fit guy. If that's true, that's marathon man stuff.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? Real tough man stuff there. He's obviously extremely fit, and he fights that way.
Well, Gethin needs to feed off this crowd, and you sense just needs to raise his game a bit this time. Again, Murphy told off by the referee. How much more is Marcus McDonald going to tolerate? That's a nice body shot from Gethin. Tough man's fight at the moment.
Good left hook there from Murphy. He really digs those body shots in, doesn't he?
And switching the attack to the head as well. Murphy's not got too many supporters in this crowd, but they'll all be watching on the south coast. Now Gethin manages to drive his man onto the back foot at last.
Nice little feint Gethin needs to do just before he throws that jab. Nice little feint and let go with the nice little fast combination.
This is going to be one grueling fight the further it goes as this one unfolds. Fitness, stamina is going to come into count.
Good jab there again from Gethin. Murphy comes back straight away though with his own little combination of headshots.
Anthony Croller will be watching, I'm sure, every blow that is landed here in this third round. Potential opponents, these two, maybe for Anthony somewhere down the line. Who's going to win it, though? Murphy will not take a backward step, will he? But he's being forced to by Gethin. who's leaning on, trying to show that he can match him for strength, and a nice little touch of gloves between the two at the end of that. That was a hard round.
Oh, unbelievable. Punch and punch stuff, wasn't it? Just back and forth. Neither wanted to give any sort of ground. You see the early on in the round there, Murphy having some good success there, doubling up with the left hook, body to head.
And then after that, somehow, Gethin managed to sort of turn it round, didn't he? And he got Murphy onto the back foot at last.
Yeah, which is something that we didn't see, especially this. We didn't expect to see this early in the fight. But Gethin so much a good fighting spirit there. Just not being overwhelmed. And again, a very, very close round, John, I think.
Not just push, bam it on. Not rotate, let the shot go. Yeah? Come on.
Listen, you're in Walsall in your hometown. Come on, son, you're going to be
Corners
champion.
10 seconds.
Well, they're trying to G him up, trying to get him up to respond to the support of his crowd, trying to give him something to enthuse about, maybe. Give them something to enthuse about. Gave the first 2 rounds narrowly to Murphy. How did you score the third, Barry?
I couldn't split him, John, honestly. I just think it was the first half was all Murphy. I think the second half, I think Gethin took over. Finished it the better, but I give it an even round. But they're them sort of rounds, aren't they? You know, you couldn't really argue either way. That last round especially.
It's Tao, that's a good shot, good right hand.
And a left hook.
Gethin's got a good chin, though, as we said earlier. Never been on the floor as a professional. Twice an English title holder, now looking to win this vacant British crown. In the 4th round of a 12-rounder, long way to go. Crowd a bit quiet, though, a bit subdued, and that probably tells its own story.
Just needs to follow through with that left hand. Nice little straight right. Turn the body. There's Gethin. Keep it nice and long.
Better from Gethin, working well behind the jab. That's what he needs to do, try and keep it long.
Yeah, as fit as Murphy is, I think, you know, bleeding from the nose, just seems to be puffing just a little bit, doesn't he?
Well, he's taking plenty of shots in to get into range. And you can't just walk through a man indefinitely for 12 rounds.
No, and as we spoke then, Gethin just landing with a jab, right uppercut, left uppercut.
This is better work from Gethin.
Yeah, he's just methodically working Murphy over, isn't he, in this round?
Well, this is the fight as he would want it to be. He's not being crowded to the extent that he was earlier on. And now being given a little bit more opportunity to show what he can do.
Nice bit of work there from Gethin, just a little feint before he let go with that little combination.
Maybe that Murphy's just taking a little bit of a breather in this round.
Well, Murphy puts so much, doesn't he, into every shot, really bends his legs and just fires all the power he can into those shots.
You certainly
You wouldn't
loads
forgive him, would you, for making a rest?
Oh, good uppercut. Left hand, and the gum shield came out. Left uppercut from Gethin was a good quality punch. The action slowed now. Was that a little bit of the old pro's act? Did he just buy himself a bit of time, or was it just something that happened?
I think it generally hit it out, John. It was a left hook come uppercut, wasn't it? Took it right out of his mouth.
Good round, though, this for Gethin.
Yeah, he's boxed well, hasn't he, this round? Working everything behind the jab, keeping it from nice and long range.
The crowd aren't going wild about it, but he's doing what he needs to do here, Martin Gethin. Much better round. And they'll be happy with that one. Have a look at some of the action from that round. There's an early right hand from Ben Murphy.
Yeah, that was earlier in the fight, as the bell went, pretty much. Caught him with a good right hand straight along, but that was probably the only real success Murphy had in that round.
But Gethin came back well, boxed well from there on. Let's see how Anthony Croller is reading this one so far. Have you got it?
I think Martin Gethin has just levelled things up there, and I think he'll be happy with the start. like you say, he's known to be a slow starter, Martin, but for me there it's 2 rounds apiece, and he seems to be establishing his jab a little bit, which is going to be very important in this fight, and I think he'll be happy with that, and he's starting to work the side around Ben Murphy's body, and he'll be looking to take this into the second half, fight where he always comes on.
We now move on to the 5th round. Anthony's got it all square. How did you score that last round, Barry?
Yeah, I get that round to Gethin, so I still have him, I think, a round down at the moment.
Well, you've got Gethin a round down by virtue of the fact that you scored the 3rd round level, which
I did, yeah.
is a good little bit of fence sitting. Judges don't often do it, but Terry O'Connor and John Lewis, John Keane at ringside. What we do know at this moment, it is a close fight.
But it's a brighter start for Gethin than we expected, to be honest. We thought he'd be put up a lot of pressure, have to give away the early rounds. And even though Gethin doesn't have the fastest hands around, his timing's good, isn't it? Very rarely misses with the shot.
He's a good boxer and he's got a big heart. Ben Murphy, another one. That's what makes it a good fight.
Yeah, both 2 honest pros, aren't they? You know, don't really look to hold or cheat their way through, just honest. Look at the land shots, work, they want to win and win good. Again, Gethin coming back with the straight shots.
Martin Gethin, not only a good fighter, he puts it back as well, you know. He runs an amateur club, the Wild Star, with his brothers. And he's having a good round here again.
Yeah, I think Murphy's just giving away too much ground, isn't he?
Well, he put a lot into those early rounds. And he's just being told by his corner, get off the ropes. What's that one about, Barry?
Yeah, again with the head, John. Just came in with the head.
Now the crowd starting to like this as Gethin begins to unload with a bit more purpose.
It looks like just a little nick maybe appearing under the right eye of Murphy, and he looks a little bit tired. Looking to load up on the single shots now, isn't he, Murphy, rather than earlier on he's let the combinations go.
And his natural ground is to be onto the front foot, and Martin Gethin is making him fight in reverse, where he's not comfortable. Good attack this from Gethin. Murphy trying to cover up, but this is good work from Gethin.
Yeah, great work, and he just won't give Murphy any space to move or throw punches back. Keeping his shape nice and good, is Gethin.
Murphy trying to cover up, hoping that Gethin's going to punch himself out. Another good round for Martin Gethin, really good round. And now Izzy starting to take control of this. Here's Ben Murphy with his trainer Paul Newman.
That was him just being warned there for the head. But this is Gethin just putting the sustained pressure on Murphy, just not letting him rest for a minute.
You've got to move your head. You've got to vary the shots. Right, mate?
Murphy
right,
being told he's got to move his head. Here he is.
Come on. Get in the zone. Come on.
Flip the shots, then you've got to counter. Body and head, vary it.
Come on.
When you do that inside, you can't go with it. So use it.
Body, head, right? With the iron. The iron. There, the iron.
Sense he needs a good round, Barry.
Yeah, most definitely. I think the fight's definitely, the momentum has definitely swayed in Gethin's favour. And he's boxing really well, isn't he, Gethin? And to be honest, he looks stronger than what I thought he was. Pushing Murphy back is no mean feat.
Murphy's left cheek swelling up underneath the eye. They're working on it with the iron between rounds.
Well, what his corner was saying was he has to move his head, but go forward with it. Stay nice and low, let Gethin punch down.
Well, the thought was that Murphy might show himself to be physically the stronger man. Well, Gethin has tried to disprove that theory.
But he's deceivingly strong, isn't he, Gethin? Pushing him back with a solid jab. Again, he hasn't got the fastest hands, but his timing's very good. Doesn't miss with many, if any, shots.
And he's throwing more punches now.
And good timing and accuracy, John, is a very hard thing to deal with.
Those are good body shots from Gethin.
And Murphy gamely fighting back. And that nick under the right eye, John, looks to be getting worse.
And he just looks a bit ragged, doesn't he, Murphy?
Bleeding from the nose, obviously struggling to breathe. Having to open his mouth now to breathe.
The home man is doing well.
Boxing really well, isn't he, Gethin, at the moment?
Really going to work on Murphy on that far side, who's trying bravely to counter off the ropes.
And even though Gethin's working hard, he's conserving energy. He's not throwing everything into every shot. Knowing Murphy's strong, Murphy can take a shot. He's just working him over, and every third or fourth shot, he puts a little bit more weight in it. Does Martin Gethin.
Yeah, so far it's a really good performance from a seasoned, experienced professional who's fought at a good level, as indeed has Ben Murphy, but Gethin at this point just looks as though he's got more.
And the most impressive thing for Gethin is he's kept his composure, hasn't he, throughout. Even when he was under pressure in the early rounds. Hasn't lost his shape, kept his composure. Nice high defence, throwing those light straight punches. And most importantly and incredibly, pushing Murphy back, which we never thought we'd see.
Murphy again having to suck up the air and take a lot of punishment. You can see he's really having to dig deep.
Yeah, and you know it when you're tired, John, when they're just looking to pot shot. He's just trying to conserve the energy and let the single big shots go, but it's just not enough to keep Gethin at bay at the moment.
Doesn't look as though it's there at this moment for Murphy. Needs to change the pattern of this fight because it's going badly against him, and a big body shot right on the bell from Gethin, who has another big round and may have taken 4 on the bounce.
Yeah, he's starting to dominate matters now, isn't he, Gethin? Again, similar to the last round, just keeping Murphy on the back foot, straight punches. Working to the head and dipping down to the body really well. But that jab, it's been excellent for Gethin tonight.
Well, here's the body shot right on the bell, and it was quality. Right hand, really good punch, that one.
It was a heavy shot. You could hear it here from ringside, and Murphy looking a very tired figure in the corner.
Well, the faithful are shoehorned into the town hall here in Walsall, and this man from Hove looks as though he might have come a long way for nothing. Into the second half of the fight, Martin Gethin on our cards, and certainly from looking at the fight, appears to be the man now in control. Gethin in the blue shorts.
Yeah, Murphy really needs a second win right now. Come out, oh, good right hand there from Murphy. Come up with a little bit more urgency.
Well, he needs a big round, doesn't he? Because the tide is going against him.
He just needs to be able to, if he can just push Gethin back, keep dipping those legs, trying to slip shots by rolling his head, moving his head. But Gethin just edges forward, doesn't he? Every time Murphy looks to move.
Well, Murphy's certainly put a bit more urgency into his work in this 7th round. He has upped his game as he needed to do. But Gethin's responding.
Well, he's wiry strong, isn't he, Gethin? Doesn't look massively strong, doesn't look really muscular. You know, he's in incredible shape. But I think he's deceivingly strong.
A fit guy.
And that jab of his is a solid shot, really is. And he's breaking Murphy up at the moment with that punch.
Murphy's face swollen under both eyes. Left eye, particularly the swelling under that now, is starting to markedly worsen.
Good left hook there from Murphy. He takes a left jab back there for his trouble.
Yeah, you get the impression that every time Gethin gets through with those jabs, though, it's really hurting Murphy. He's feeling the pain on that battered face. It's been a big effort, though, in this round from the man from the South Coast.
Yeah, which is also a worrying sign, because he's made a big effort, but he's still not winning the round, is he?
Well, not for me.
If you get him, you just can't not get him out of his rhythm at the moment.
It's an impressive performance. He's made it his fight.
Yeah, he's boxing very well. Had to take a few shots, mind. He hasn't complained, as he takes the shot and comes back with his own punches.
Murphy feeling the pace, though. Mouth is hanging open.
But Murphy landed with a cracking right hand there.
Needs to. Good round, this one. Good round. I reckon Gethin's just edging it, but if it went the other way, it wouldn't be a big surprise. Competitive round. How did you have it, Barry?
No, that's definitely a round for Gethin for me.
Well, we'll go into the corner and hear him with Errol Johnson.
Give us the towel. Give me the towel, Wayne.
Don't let him near you, got me? Some lazy bits there. Dropping your hands and letting him catch you with silly right hands. Got me? Get back on it, breathe, come on. You ain't even breathing, Martin. Let's get the snap back in these hands, yeah?
Don't give him confidence again, Martin. Martin, you mustn't let him back in the fight, son. You've got to hold the centre of the ring and keep driving the jab through. Bang, 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 okay?
Pick it up, pick
Come
it
on.
up on him, got me? Snap the shots.
Come on.
Up, right hand, let that right hand go snap it, yeah? Feel good? Well, come on then, stop.
Come
Well, they saw that Murphy certainly was able to raise his game in that 7th round. Maybe that Murphy edged it, I don't know. You've given it to Gethin, Barry, but certainly Murphy had a better round there. And that reflected by the urgency of Dean Powell and Errol Johnson, just trying to get Gethin to get some snap back into his work.
Yeah, you know, if you want to be critical of Gethin, he is slightly one-paced, I guess, but he don't break his rhythm. He's very accurate, timing's very good, keeps his shape. There's not really much to complain about with Gethin. Does everything right. But Murphy gamely still looking for the angles, isn't he? Looking for the way in.
All the time, of course, Gethin has that problem of having to punch down against a man significantly smaller than he is. Murphy less than 5'4". Getting warmer here as well in the town hall here in Walsall. Might be thick snow outside, but the temperature is certainly rising at ringside.
Good right hand there from Murphy. But again, for me, just maybe not doing enough.
Look at that from Gethin, working his man back. Lovely right hand, forced him back across the ring. Gethin taking the play away from Murphy.
Well, that's been Murphy's problem, hasn't it? He just can't push Gethin back. Has to give ground, but Gethin just keeps edging forward all the time. His hands held nice and high.
Body shots as well, Barry. I mean, he's beaten him at his own game for much of this fight. I think it's perhaps surprised at the strength of Gethin. There's just a moment there when Murphy's legs seemed to just sag a little bit as he went back onto the ropes.
Yeah, he got that wiry sort of strength, hasn't he, Gethin? Oh, good right hand there to the body again.
Look at those
Gethin.
body shots. He might be starting to go here. These are hurting, and this is a big attack from Gethin. 15 seconds to go. Can Gethin find the shots he wants? Bravely, Murphy coming back off the ropes. But a tremendous attack from Martin Gethin. People are standing up around here, cheering the local man on. And that is a big, big round for Martin Gethin, finishing the round in complete control. Excellent round, terrific work. And Anthony Croller sitting at ringside watching with us. He's kind of beaten him at his own game. He's shown that he's the strong man in there.
He has done. Not many people would want to push Ben Murphy on the back foot, but that's exactly what Martin Gethin's done on him. He's walked Ben Murphy down. He's just chipped away. And don't get me wrong, Ben Murphy's landed some great shots, but they seem to have just bounced off Martin Gethin. And the ref was having a real close look then, and he'd do well to see this round out, I think, here, Ben Murphy.
You've got to have a lot of respect for the conditioning of Gethin. I mean, he's clearly gone in here in tremendous shape, hasn't he?
Oh, fantastic shape. He's just, the way, like I say, he just doesn't seem to be using too much energy up either. Each shot he's just tapping it, and then he'll whack an hard body shot in downstairs.
Well, while Anthony Croller speaking there, you're seeing that attack from Gethin in the closing stages of the round. Big round that for Gethin, the 8th. Is he now going to take his man out in the 9th?
Well, you wouldn't bet against it at the moment, would you? I think he's Murphy again trying to come out strong, but I think he has to be panicking right now because Gethin just has full control. And Anthony was spot on what he's saying there with Gethin. He just works him over. It's like every third or fourth shot puts a bit more weight behind the punch. So he's conserving lots of energy even though he's working Murphy over.
It was the body punches which are starting to take a toll and have been doing increasingly as this fight has progressed. And Gethin has just not been moved by anything that Murphy has landed. Look at these hooks thudding in from Gethin. That's a great shot.
Yeah, and again, cracking left hook.
Nothing coming back from Murphy now. And the referee has stopped it. It's all over. Martin Gethin is the British champion. And what a terrific performance that was. Outstanding. And the strong man, he's been beaten and he's had a number done on him. Martin Gethin tonight was really good.
He boxed very, very well. Just kept his shape throughout that fight. At the first 2 rounds for Murphy, where he just come out like a bull out of a gate, like a lunatic. Gethin kept his shape, high defence, worked behind the jab. Once he established that jab, then just worked Murphy over with a tireless and a flawless display.
He's come close to getting that British title shot in the past. Finally now, he is the British champion, and this is when the end came.
Well, again, it's same as the previous round, wasn't he? Just wouldn't let Murphy off the hook. Just kept raining punches into him. Straight shots followed by hooks to the body. Left hooks, right hooks. And in the end then, the referee was right to step in. Murphy just not punching back. And at last, Martin Gethin, British champion.
Terrific work rate. And look at the volume of punches that he's landed in the last round and now in this round. And they get their reward. Happy man, as well he might be, now has that Lonsdale belt. Dean Francis, Errol Johnson giving their congratulations. The crowd is standing and cheering. Brave effort from Ben Murphy, but not to be. And a commiseration from the referee, Marcus McDonnell. And now here is confirmation of the result, which makes him the new British champion. Here's our Master of Ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for both boxers. At 56 seconds of the 9th round, your referee, Marcus McDonnell, has stopped the contest. He deemed Ben Murphy was in no position to continue. The winner and the new British lightweight champion from Walsall in the blue corner, Martin Gethin!
Walsall celebrates. Hope you enjoyed it. Anthony Croller among those applauding a really good performance from Martin Gethin. Maybe he's going to be fighting him somewhere down the road. It could certainly happen. But for now, the British champion comes from Walsall.